Hey, what is up, everybody? It's Tanner from Steampunks, and last night was Jeff Keighley's The Game Awards, which were pretty fun to watch. A little bit boring. There was some musical entertainment, we got to see some new trailers for games, we got to see some game announcements, and overall it was pretty fun to watch. Now, everybody looks forward to this time of year when we get to look back at the rest of the year and see what was our most fun thing to play. And everybody is going to disagree on this topic, obviously. And when you put on a show like the Game Awards, it's kind of like adding fuel to the fire because those people kind of get justification if their game wins, and if your game loses, then you don't get any justification at all. And anyway, it's a fun night. Anyway, so these are my 5 takeaways on the Game Awards. My number 1 takeaway was Nintendo wins the Best Multiplayer Award for their game Splatoon. And ultimately, I just think this is a sign of things to come on Nintendo. With the NX, we're all hoping that Nintendo is going to strengthen their online infrastructure and give us something that we can actually play with our friends across seas, across borders. Everybody wants to play with people in other countries, and you can already do that with Splatoon and Mario Kart and some other games. But it's just not to the point where you can actually talk with those people or interact in any meaningful way. And that's what everybody wants to see out of Nintendo, and them winning the Best Multiplayer Award will hopefully push them in the right direction. Number 2, Her Story is getting justified praise. Her Story, for those who don't know, was a detective simulation game that came out earlier in the year. I did a review of it, you can check it out on my channel. It's very good. It was live action, played by an actress named Viva Fair. She actually won an award for the best performance of 2015, which I think was totally justified. She did a great job, and she pretty much made that game what it is. And the game also won best narrative. I think this is a game that you should not pass up. It's not a very long game. You can probably finish it in like 5 or 6 hours, but it is very good. It is all about story. There's very little gameplay, but the story is left for the players to piece together, and it's a one of a kind of experience for now anyway. Number 3, musical performances are fun live, but they are boring as hell if you have to watch them on a stream. Now, watching the Video Game Awards, it was about 2.5 hours, and there was 3 or 4 musical performances spread out through that whole thing. And not that each individual one was really boring, it's just that when you know that you just want to get to the next Game Award and that's the only reason you're watching, and then they keep throwing in musical performances, I gotta imagine if you're sitting at the Game Awards all night and you're there live, it's a lot more entertaining to see live music. But when you're sitting there on TV and you're listening to bands you've never heard of, it's kind of boring. Number 4, Bethesda should have won Best Developer of 2015. Now, for those who don't know, CD Projekt Red won Best Developer for Witcher 3, and they also took home 2 other awards, one for Best Game Design, I believe, Best RPG of the Year, and of course Game of the Year 2015. Not to say that Witcher 3 didn't deserve all those awards, except for this one, probably the Best Developer of the Year award, considering that Witcher 3 was delayed twice from its original release date, and when it came out it was full of glitches and wasn't optimized on any of the consoles. Bethesda put out a similar product which was glitchy and not optimized on a lot of the consoles, but at the same time it was only revealed 6 months ago at E3, and it was put out on time, and people were playing that game in November in their living rooms. And I think that's really the mark of a good developer, and not what CD Projekt Red did. Not that CD Projekt Red didn't develop an amazing game, that's not what I'm saying, but when you're talking about 2 games that are pretty equally good, Fallout 4 and Witcher 3, I think Development Blunders kind of puts you in the bottom of the pool for Best Developer of the Year. Now, Bethesda's Fallout 4, on the other hand, was probably the best launch of 2015, and probably the best launch of recent memory. Like, when was the last time we saw a game get revealed and then 6 months later we were playing it? That almost virtually never happens with a AAA game, especially nowadays since all of the game delays and stuff like that. Like, games are getting announced 2 years before they even come out. I think Smash Bros. Almost holds the record right now, if I'm incorrect, for being the longest marketing cycle, which was like almost 4 years. I just really think that Bethesda should have won the Developer of the Year award. I didn't see any reason that they shouldn't have won in Witcher 3, and CD Projekt Red should have won. I didn't get that. That was the only award probably that didn't make any sense to me. And number 5, the use of teleprompters was so freaking obvious. The whole night you're watching people talk about video games, and maybe it's only the second time they've ever said these lines, and maybe they're even talking about things they don't even know about, but it was so obvious to watch people read lines off teleprompters and things like that.
Hi, we're here to present the award for the best indie game.
We know what it's like to start out on your own with just an idea and not that many opportunities.
But thanks to crowdfunding, open platforms, and perseverance, indie game creators are changing the landscape of gaming. Here are the nominees.
And the other really notable thing was that Jeff Keighley, the whole time, I love Jeff Keighley, by the way, I'm just going to put that disclaimer out front, but Jeff Keighley the entire time was like looking at his shoes. Like, I'm going to put a 20-second montage right here of Jeff Keighley looking at his shoes.
Well, congratulations to Reggie. That's 2 awards for Nintendo already. And also, Lara Croft, Camilla was up there. Congratulations to Lara Croft Go, which won the Best Mobile Handheld Game category as well. All right, so let's talk about another big aspect of the show. All right, here for Mobile Lara Croft Go. Now, world premieres are a big part of this show, and we love to show people a look at some of the state-of-the-art of video games and where this industry is going in the future. Well, one game that is up for most anticipated game tonight is Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. Anyone excited about that? Well, the team at Naughty Dog is very hard at work in Santa Monica tonight, finishing up the game, getting it ready for you guys for early 2016. But Neil Druckmann, Bruce Straley, and the team did want to share a little something special with the fans around the world and show you a little piece of something new from the game. They obviously want to keep a lot of it a surprise for when you play it. But right now, you're going to meet a new character from the world of Uncharted 4 for the first time with our first world premiere tonight. We're really happy to have it. Take a look at Uncharted 4.
There was another blunder during the night as well. The woman who was announcing the Best Performance Award to Viva Se Fair of Her Story, she actually she came out and it was pretty obvious she was reading off a teleprompter. First of all, like, it didn't look like she even knew what she was talking about. She read the wrong thing off the card. She said Best Performance goes to Viva Se Fair in Witcher 3, like they wanted to give another word to Witcher 3 or something.
Viva Seifert, The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3.
But no, Jeff Keighley came on Twitter today and said that was a mistake, and she was given a card that was printed incorrectly, so that wasn't her fault, but it was kind of funny. But yeah, other than that, it was a pretty good show. It was pretty entertaining. It was a little dry in parts, but we got to see a lot of cool games like Far Cry Primal. If you haven't checked that out, that looks really cool. We also got to see a trailer for Telltale Games' new Batman game, which looks amazing. We saw that Psychonauts 2 has been announced by Tim Schafer and Double Fine Games. And we also got to see a pretty cool trailer from Rock Band VR. Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. I wouldn't recommend going and sitting through the entire 2.5 hours, but you know what? That's why people like me are making videos today. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then leave us a like. Maybe think about subscribing to Steampunks, because we're a small channel and we can only grow with your help, guys. As always, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. And here is some other content that I think you might enjoy. Until next time, guys. Thanks.